Hello everybody, good morning. We are live on Facebook. My name is Holly Luton from I Go Yoga, and I have a question for you today. Are your emotions easily triggered, maybe causing you to get maybe sad, mad, or even angry? And you maybe feel like you just can't control your emotions, like when you take the lid off one emotion, they all seem to come. And maybe you feel like you're quite quick to lose your temper, and maybe you feel like, or maybe you're the other end of the extreme. You're not angry, but you're really sad, and maybe when you feel sad, you feel yourself crying uncontrollably. Maybe it just takes one thing to seemingly go wrong, and then you feel like you just really can't control your emotional state. Or maybe you feel like your mood shifts quickly. One minute you're really happy, next minute you're feeling sad, a little bit like Jekyll and Hyde, causing you not to be maybe a very nice person when you're not in a good place. And your family, your friends are very aware of this. So if you don't know me by now, I'm Holly Luton, and I help people to live life with less stress and more joy. You know why? Because we deserve to. And this is using yoga, it's using meditation, and it uses mindful guidance to help steer you on the right track. So today we're going to be talking about how to instantly uplift your mood. So, even when you're feeling sad, mad, or angry, so you can begin, focusing your energy on creating a life that you truly love, one that excites you. So right now we have a guided meditation in procession, and we of course thought we'd go live just for the first part, just to give you guys maybe on the fence an idea of what you can expect from one of our I Go Meditate classes, or maybe you'd get a little bit of insight as to what you can expect from one of our yoga practices as well, because we lead very much with mindfulness, and positive energy. So hopefully you'll get a bit of that today. So we will be sharing our first part of the session with you guys on Facebook for our discussion, and then we'll say bye-bye to you guys, and then we'll head over into doing some mind and body preparation techniques that will prepare the mind and the body really to have the best possible start to the day. So if you are watching this live on Facebook and you think, I want to join for one of these live online classes, I've been watching these and you're getting value, then please do go head over and visit igowithholly.com, and you'll find our full timetable out there. But today we're going to go a little bit more, we're going to go beyond the body, and we're going to go into the mind, because that's where change really starts, guys. And so we're really excited because we have a 4-week mindset mastery program that we've been delivering for years now, but for the first time in years we're going to be delivering it live once again, and we want you to be a part of that too. So if you're ready to make the mental shift and you want to get more clarity, get better results in your life, set some meaningful goals, and start to take action towards them, then visit 4weekmindsetshift.com, and you will be able to join us free for this 4-week online live challenge. Okay, that's really exciting. So today here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn why you struggle to control your emotional states. You're also going to learn what's causing your emotions to really get the better of you, and then we're going to explore how you can master your emotions so that you can respond with elegance to life's challenges. That's what we want to do, isn't it, guys? Good morning to everybody who's joining us today. If you're with me, if you can hear me, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up, just so I know I'm not talking to myself. So the reason why we struggle to control our emotional state is because we tend to react based on unconscious habits. And these unconscious habits are what really control us, and they govern how we feel about ourselves, and they govern our behavior, how we behave in the world. So I just want to start by sharing just a little story with you. So let's just imagine you're in that story, that you're driving along the road, maybe later on this afternoon, and you're minding your own business. You've got your music playing in the car. Maybe you're on the way to maybe an elderly family member. You're going to be delivering some food. You know, it's during COVID. They're not able to get out of the house. And, you know, all of a sudden, somebody, some rude person decides to drive right up your backside, and you know, is really egging you to go faster. And you know, this car is right behind you now, and you're already doing the speed limit. You don't want to drive any faster than that. And you know, and this persists for a while. You know, it persists for a while. You know, and you're wondering what's going on. You know, and you can't help. You know, you want to remain calm. You do, but you can't help but think, how dare they? Like, who are they? Like, what's going on? And so, you know, you keep it calm and you keep driving, and then you approach a set of traffic lights, and the traffic lights turn to red. So you, law-abiding citizen, slow down and stop at the traffic lights, and this car behind you is still egging up closer and closer to you, and now they are laying on the horn. They are beep 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 beep, and you can see the guy is going, move out of the way. He's putting his arm out the window, move out of the way. And you're sitting there at this traffic lights, and it's so easy now to start to feel really angry. You know, like you start to feel your blood boil. I don't know whether you ever relate to that. And you start to feel clammy in your hands and quite sweaty. Like you feel really sweaty and hot all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden you feel yourself get out of the car and march over to his driver's side window. You knock on the door, on the window. He winds his window down, old fashioned, yeah? He winds his window down. And, you know, you then start ripping into this guy. How dare you follow me? How dare you get up my backside? You know, I'm following the speed limit. Me. Reacting, yeah, based on habit. And then all of a sudden, when you stop to pause, you realise that this man has got sadness and he's got grief and panic in his eyes. And then all of a sudden now you're scanning the situation, you're looking around like what's going on, and you can see in the back of the car seat there is a young child, a little girl, let's say, lying across the 3 seats in the back, and she is seriously injured. She's seriously injured. And you look back at the gent, and the guy says, I'm just trying to get her to hospital. That's all I want to do. I'm trying to get her to hospital. It is in that moment where we recognize our unconscious reactions, and they can cause havoc in our lives, because we then have to deal with the consequences of our actions. You know, every reaction creates an action. It is an action that creates then a consequence, and it doesn't only affect us and our lives, but it affects everybody else around us. So I hope that example has resonated with you today. So where in your life are you being very reactive? You know, where are you maybe acting first and then thinking later? Because, you know, for us to, you know, really understand why our emotions get the better of us, it is for us to understand that to react is habit, and to respond you must think. So if you want to get out of the reacting, if you want to stop, you know, all of a sudden you've been arguing with somebody, and then 5 minutes later you realize, oh my god, I've just been arguing, I didn't even know I was there. That was so unconscious. Like, where were you that whole time? So for us to be able to really master our emotions, it is to remember that to react is habit, and to respond you must think. So it's to take time to stop and to pause and assess a situation before you go, you know, all in guns blazing. And this is because, you know, habitually we think negative by default. And by that what I mean is we think negatively to protect ourselves, because, you know, maybe, you know, these reactions that we're having are coming from past experiences that we've had, maybe going back all the way to, you know, our childhood years, or maybe experiences that you've had in your adult life where maybe you've been hurt by somebody, maybe someone's taken advantage of you or let you down. You know, I know I've certainly been there, especially in relationships with other guys in the past, you know, where I've been hurt, where I've been let down, where I've been cheated on, where I've been abused physically, mentally, emotionally, and then carrying all of those habitual experiences into, you know, the current relationship that I have now. And sometimes I'll find them coming up, you know, if I feels like, you know, say something and I think, oh, he's been controlling here, and then you end up reacting based on habits. So it's very important for us to remember that when we react, it's usually based on one of our past experiences. So we're reacting really based on memory, and that is our automatic programming. So we're reacting based on what happened to us in the past. So the key to be able to respond is to be aware of your emotions and how you feel at any given moment, and to begin to understand yourself so you can master them. And that way you'll then be able to create better outcomes in your life. Although what I will say is that it is bloody easier said than done, isn't it? It is so much easier said than done. Like, right, from now on, I'm going to respond by thinking, and the next thing you know, you're back in that same situation. So it is for us to understand that it is our emotions. It is our emotions that influence the way that we think and the way that we act and behave. I mean, have you ever been there? Maybe you found yourself often jumping to conclusions for no reason, like that, story that I just told you, where you find yourself or somebody else jumping out of the car, you know, in anger and frustration. Maybe you feel like you're always saying things that you don't mean, or, you know, reacting to a situation before you've heard the full story or got all of the facts, you know. I know we do that, and we do that with our children a lot. So it is important for us to be aware of how our emotional reactivity can change our perception, the way in which that we see the world, and ultimately the way that we behave. So our emotions, what are they? You know, what are they? If we break the word emotion down, that's emotion, which means energy in motion. So we must have a way for our emotions to be able to flow freely. But what most of us are doing is we don't freely express them. We don't say what's on our mind. So then we keep all of that energy inward, and we store it all up to a point where it builds up, and then all of a sudden we feel like we just want to explode, you know, or we have no choice but to explode. We can't contain it any longer. And there are so many stories of people who have reacted in anger to the point where maybe they've even taken somebody else's life. You know, you hear the stories where, you know, people see red, especially guys, you know, they tend to see they have this rage, and they see red, and then all of a sudden they do something, you know, that massively impacts, you know, the world in a negative way. And then, you know, they end up hurting people that they love, they end up hurting themselves, and then they have to deal with the consequences later on. So, you know, and it's not just anger. You know, if you're feeling sad, then you're going to tend to really isolate and, you know, contract and withdraw yourself from others. If you're feeling frustrated, then you're probably more likely to give up on something, you know. So all of these emotions, they govern our life. So it's important to recognize our emotional triggers. It's important to recognize maybe there's certain keywords, maybe even certain smells, certain experiences that you go through that will trigger you in a very negative way. Because it is important now that we think about our emotions. In order for us to change our emotions, we have to go to the root cause. And the root cause is our thoughts. It's the way in which we are thinking. And every thought, let's say it is a vibration, okay? Every thought is a vibration. And when we think that thought, we pull that thought down from the ether, and that thought creates a ripple in our subconscious mind. And, you know, that ripple could be just a gentle, like a pebble in the ocean, or it could be and create a tsunami. So your thoughts have the power to create beauty in the world, or they have the power to destroy. And so according to scientists, let's get a bit sciencey now. According to scientists, 80% of the thoughts or more that we think are negative. And this is because we were drawn to negative by default, as I said, as a way to protect ourselves. And we're usually drawing on these past memories where we've been hurt, where we've been let down, where we've been victimized, as a way of protecting ourselves from actually making the same mistakes again. So how do we master our emotions then, so we can respond elegantly to life's challenges? Well, it is for us to start to, take responsibility for ourselves, okay? Let's stop blaming other people. Let's stop pointing that finger outside of ourselves and turn that finger inward. Turn that awareness inward, because we are the co-creators of our life. And it is up, if we want to be happier, if we want to be healthier, if we want to be more positive, then we have to change who we are, not what we do. We're always trying to change what's going on outside of ourselves instead of actually starting from the beginning and changing what's going on in here. So first things first, if you want to instantly uplift your mood, if you want to break free of anger from past memories that keep reoccurring in your future, if you want to stop getting sad, mad, and angry, then it is important for you to take responsibility. And number one, it is to clear your mind of all of those negative thoughts that you habitually draw up every time, life happens to you. Every time something negative happens in your life, you're drawing on these negative memories and using them as a way for you to react. But we don't need to do that. We can clear the mind, and instead we draw on thoughts that give us energy, value, and meaning, And I would say, if the thought isn't going to add value, increase your energy levels, change your life for the better, then it's probably not worth thinking about at all. But once again, it is easier said than done. So this is a process that we're going through, and that is to clear our mind and start to choose our thoughts more wisely. And this is the universal law of vibration, okay? The law of vibration, and it states that everything has a frequency, Your thoughts have a frequency. You have a frequency. You're giving off energy, all the time, and you emit this energy. And so when you think positive thoughts of a high vibration, then you increase your energy, you increase your vibration, and then that radiates out into your world, out into your environment, out into your life. So then you become this magnet, of attraction. This is the true law of, the law of attraction. And that is to increase your vibration, to think positive thoughts, and then you'll start to find that like-minded people, like-minded circumstances, like-minded things will move to you. However, if you give your energy to those of a low vibration, anger, sad, frustration, resentment, guilt, envy, hate. Hate is another form of love, by the way, which is another subject. But if we give ourselves to these give our energy to these low thoughts, these low energy, these low vibrations, then we will begin to attract more of the same into our life, because that will affect the electromagnetic field in our body. Some people call this the aura, and that is what either attracts people or repels people away from you. So what we want to do is, of course, we want to increase our vibration by thinking positive and uplifting thoughts, and be careful, very careful of what you're listening to and who you are listening to. Yeah, you might not be able to choose who you're in the household with right now if you're in lockdown, in quarantine, or choose who you're living with, full stop. But what you can do is choose what you listen to, okay, and who you spend the most time with. So of course we can't always choose who we're spending our time with, because mother, we can't choose our mom. We can choose our friends, but you can spend how much time you spend with her, and you can work on controlling the conversation so it doesn't maybe lead down to into a negative place. So recognize that it is your vibe that attracts your tribe. So if you're feeling positive and uplifted, you're going to attract more people to you, and then vice versa. So if your vibe, your tribe will attract your vibe. So if you're around negative people who, you know, are always constantly looking at the negative outcome of things, they're always criticizing, putting you down, then you're obviously going to eventually become that self-fulfilling prophecy where you'll end up taking on, you know, many of their beliefs unconsciously. So once we clear the mind and we start plugging into some positive personal development, some good positive thoughts, then it is about identifying the habits, identifying the negative, unserving habits, the unnecessary thoughts that we've been carrying around with us. We want to clear that baggage. We want to spring clean the BS, the bullshit, yes, I swore, out of our lives for good. Okay, so we've got to be willing to go into those old memories, I know, and pull them out so we can actually process them and move forward and actually really define what is truth. Okay, so you know, you had a bad experience, you know, with somebody in the past, and maybe a past relationship. It doesn't mean to say we have to tar every single man with that same brush just because we had that one person, you know, out of the million men, you know, did you wrong. So now we can go, oh well, that's not really serving me, I'll throw that one out, and then we can replace that then with positive, empowering thoughts that are actually going to take you to where you want to be. But remember, so we don't want to be held hostage to the past anymore. Okay, we want to let go, we want to clear the way forward so we can, you know, really get connected with who we really are. And then in that space we can create some positive goals, you know, some real meaningful goals that we can work towards, that we can feel excited about every single day. And then you're concentrating on the person that you want to be rather than the person that you were, and that helps you to really concentrate on what's important. Okay, because if your life was just amazing, going swimmingly well, if your life was just incredible, and then that guy came up behind you going beep 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 beep, move out of the way, it's not really going to bother you, is it? You'd probably just naturally just pull over and just let them go. You know, because you're just in a great state of mind, a great attitude of mind. And so, but it's to recognize that, you know, come on, it's not that easy. Life isn't perfect. We're not perfect. So it's for us to always lean on the fact that, you know, it's okay to have one bad day. Yeah. There's going to be a time where you wake up and you just react to everything and everyone around you. And hopefully you're around good people that, you know, support you in that. But it is to never have two bad days in a row. So if you want it one bad day, you feel like you don't want to get out of bed, you feel like you don't want to speak to anybody, you just want to ignore everyone, you don't want to hold doors for people, you don't want to say thank you, you know, to the cashier at the till, that's fine. Okay, we all have those bad days, but just never have two of those bad days in a row, because that will most likely turn into a bad week. A bad week will be turned into a bad month, and a bad month probably, you know, turn to a bad quarter, bad 6 months, bad 6 months, bad year, bad life. So we really want to start to, you know, honor when we are feeling negative, honor when we do feel the anger and the sadness. Don't try and avoid it, don't try and hide from it, but it is to recognize it, and then to choose consciously not to stay in that place. It is to choose to respond, and in order to respond, we must think. So I hope this is helping you today. And you know what, guys, everything that I've spoke about today in terms of how you can uplift your mood through clearing your mind, getting rid of the negative thoughts, instilling a new vision for your life, creating some goals, and then finally, you know, yoga and meditation are great ways to clear, you know, any of that stagnant energy that you've been holding up. Then, you know, you are going to absolutely love what we have coming up over the next few weeks, because on the 1st of June, week commencing the 1st of June, we are launching the 4-week mindset mastery program. If you're watching this and you've done the 4-week mindset mastery program, give me a thumbs up, let me know, and let us know if it helped you, right? Because I just know that it did. And so we're delivering the 4-week mindset mastery program live. This is a live interactive program that I haven't delivered for a few years because we've been working on other programs, but these really are the fundamental steps that you must take in order to really get more clarity on your life, on your life's direction, bulletproof your mindset, so that one, you know, that bad week that you have turns into just a bad day, and a bad day is just then a few minutes or a few short moments before you're back, you know, into that positive state of mind. And then, you know, if you really want to build those positive, empowering habits and, you know, set the clear goals and begin to take action immediately, then you're going to love this 4-week program, because it is live. As I said, it is going to be delivered over 4 weeks. So it's going to give you an opportunity over 30 days to instill some new positive habits. And above all, it's going to allow you to get around some positive, like-minded people as well, because your vibe attracts your tribe. So let's get your tribe, you know, full of positive, like-minded people who, you know, have an interest in seeing you succeed. That's very important. Then you will be able to just go on your journey and, you know, make magic happen, you know, really start to create a life that you truly love with less stress and, of course, more joy. So if you want to be a part of this 4-week Mindset Mastery program, just head over to 4, that's the number 4, weekmindsetshift.com. That's 4weekmindsetshift.com, and you'll be able to get free access to the program. We're even going to send you some resources in the post as well. All you're going to do is cover postage and packaging if you want those. And then we look forward to seeing you and sharing the next 4 weeks with you to enable you to uplift your mood, you know, even when you are feeling sad, mad, and maybe even angry. So thank you so much for being with me today. If you like what you heard today, please like, comment, share with a friend who needs it. You know, let's all work together to keep our spirits high, especially during this time. And hopefully, you know, we'll see you very, very soon, potentially on the inside of the 4-week Mindset Mastery program. So once again, if you want to join us for that, please head over to the 4weekmindsetshift.com. But other than that, we're going to go into our private exercises now, our breathing and our chanting, and then we'll go into our guided meditation to hopefully clear any energetic blockages that we've been holding on to, so we can have just an amazing day and a great you know, start to the week, shall we say. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Namaste.